Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Kathleen and today I'm going to be showing you how to get this makeup look. This is my everyday makeup look that I do in the mornings before I go to work. I work in an office, so I like doing something a little bit more casual, but I love makeup, so I like throwing in a little bit of sparkle. So it's probably going to be more than your everyday makeup look, but it's really easy, it's really simple, and I think it lasts all day long and it's going to give you a great look. So if you want to see how I got this makeup look I have on, then please keep watching. The first thing that I'm going to start off with after I've washed my face and moisturized is going to be primer. Now I have a little blemish today and this is the perfect stuff to cover it up. This is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. And if you put a little bit of this over whatever blemish you have, it's gonna make it so much easier to put concealer on and cover it up. So I'll just put that on my blemish. And then I'll just take some on my middle finger and I'll rub it between my hands. And then go ahead and add this to wherever you want smoothing. So for me, that's gonna be on my pores, my smile lines, my chin. Oh, just right here, and it smells so good. And it feels good too. It just has that like fresh scent to it, you know, where you feel clean. Clean slate. Just got that. So next, and this is a little excessive and definitely not necessary, but I think it makes my makeup last all day. So I'll take the Too Faced Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. I'll just take one pump of this and put it on the perimeters of my face. I feel like I just have the type of skin where I need to have primers for foundation to stick to it. So it has to be like this. Now the next thing I'm gonna go in with is my foundation. And I'm going to be using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I've been loving this more than the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion and more than the YSL All Hours. This has become my go-to. It's amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and take 3 pumps on the back of my hand, just like that, and start by dotting this all around my face. Lighter makeup look. I always do that with the back of my hand, just to get more. So now I'm gonna be blending it in with the Morphe M439. This brush is busted up. I have hot glued it back together 2 different times. I've had it for a really long time though, and I think it kept coming unglued because I was putting too much water on it whenever I was cleaning it. So I definitely don't think it's a Morphe brush issue. I think it's a Kathleen user error. But I love it. It's super fluffy and it works great. I'm also gonna take this over my eyes to kind of prime them because I don't want to go in with an eyeshadow primer today. So now that that is all blended in and we look nice and flat, we're gonna add some highlight to the face. So the first thing I'm gonna go in with is my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Light 2 Vanilla. And I'm just gonna add little dots underneath my eyes. I don't wanna put too much because this is an everyday look, so you don't need it to be like too heavy. And this. Okay, and then I'm going to take my sponge, which this is the Eco Tools sponge. I'm obsessed with this. This flat top is amazing for putting on powder, for blending in concealer, literally everything. It's amazing. Okay, and just make sure all the little lines are blended in. So after you're done blending in your concealer, the next step is going to be powder. Now, I like to bake a little bit in the mornings just because I do have oily skin, and so it just makes it last all day. But if you don't, then you can completely skip this step or just set your concealer with a little powder and you'll be fine. So just make sure all those wrinkles are blended out. And then I'm gonna take the Too Faced Born This Way powder. I already put some in this, and I actually just leave all this powder sitting on my counter and dip in every morning as I need. But I'll take the other side of my sponge that I use and dip it in the powder till it's coated and just put this right underneath my eye. Now this is gonna help whenever I do my eyeshadow, just making sure that there's not any fallout. Not that I'm doing anything super intense in the mornings where there's gonna be all this fallout, but just in case, or even if you mess up in the mornings, I mean, why not? So I'm gonna take that powder and just go ahead and set it with a really big fluffy brush like this. This is a Morphe brush, the Morphe B13. It's nice, I just use it to set. You could probably actually use it for highlighter too, it would be nice for that. So this is, I think, my favorite eyeshadow palette of all time. It's so easy to use and it smells delicious. This is the Tartlette in Bloom palette. I love this one. So the first thing I'm gonna do, since I already set my eyeshadow with the powder, I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush. This is just one from Sonia Kashuk from like a Christmas collection. It doesn't have a number. I'm gonna go in with the shade Sweetheart, which is this like pinky shade down here. And this is literally what I do every morning. It honestly does not take any time at all. And I like doing kind of pinkier tones just because I have blue eyes and I feel like it's a little bit different than doing your normal warm toned eyeshadow look. So I just go ahead and run this through the crease, and I'm not being that precise with it because I kind of want like an all over wash of color, but something that's still in the crease. And what I'll do is I'll blend it out and upward. So I'll start out putting it in the crease where the most color deposit is, and then I'll just blend it outward and upward. Then I'll go in, because I do like a little bit of depth, and I'll go in with the shade Rebel, which is right next to Sweetheart, and I'll put this a little bit lower in my crease and just on the outer corner. And obviously, if you don't want this dark of a look in the mornings, you can stop with a Sweetheart shade, and that's all you have to do. So I'll put that in the outer corner, and I'll take that first brush with no more product on it, and I'll just go ahead and blend that out. Because if I keep blending it out with the more dense brush, it's gonna just keep getting a little bit darker, which is fine, but not really what I want for an everyday. Nice and blended out. So then I'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. Then I will take this brush, which this is the Urban Decay brush that came in the Naked 3 palette, I think. I love this brush. And I'll go in with Charmer, which is this white shade at the top. And I'll just use this to highlight my brow bone and also kind of clean up the eyeshadow if I accidentally took it too far or whatever. It kind of just makes it a little bit cleaner. So we'll do that at the top. And the next thing I like to do is gonna be the lid shade. So you can either take that Charmer that I just put on and put it on the top of your lids just to brighten your eyelid a little bit, or just leave it like this if you want, but I want a little sparkle in the mornings. So I'm gonna go in with Funny Girl, which is beautiful on its own, but it's really, really pretty when you wet your brush. Keep in mind this may be too sparkly for some people in the mornings, but I think it's really fun, and it doesn't honestly look that dramatic. So I'm gonna take the Make It Last Milani setting spray. I'm going to wet this side of my brush, 2 little spritzes, and go ahead and dip it into Funny Girl. This is like my other absolute favorite shade in this palette. And then put that on the inner part of my eyelid. Oh, do you see how sparkly that is when you wet it? This honestly, if it was sold in a single shadow, I would buy over and over again. I'm so surprised that I haven't hit pan on this, and I'm going to be devastated when it does. Like, I will buy an entire new eyeshadow palette of this for this shade. If it does come in a single eyeshadow, let me know, because I haven't seen one, but I would die. I would be so excited. So yeah, and then I just kind of take it in like the middle part where it meets your outer corner, kind of blend it a little bit, and then you can go back in with your fluffy brush and just make sure that it's nice and blended. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same thing on the other eye. So the next thing I'm gonna do is wipe away that bake that I had. And this is another Sonia Kashuk brush, or Sonia Kashuk, I don't know how to say it, from that Christmas collection. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe off my bake. And then I kind of take it down, and then I'll even take a little bit more powder and add it to the edges of my face that I didn't really get earlier. So the next thing that we're gonna go in with is bronzer. Now this is one of my favorite bronzers of all time. It's a little bit warm for me right now because I'm super pale in the winter, but I still love it and it looks really pretty. This is the Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light. Oh, it's so pretty. Seriously, it's so pretty. I love the marble look, and it's just gorgeous. And I'm gonna go in with a Real Techniques brush. What is this? The powder brush. I feel like it's a classic. And I'm just gonna take this on the outer perimeters of my face, just to warm up the skin a little bit. I also love this bronzer because it has like a sheen to it that looks so pretty, and it kind of makes your makeup look a little bit more natural. Despite the fact that this is definitely not a totally natural look, but it's going to last all day and look super pretty. Oh, I just love this. The next thing I'm gonna go in with is blush, which is my favorite part. I love blush. It's my favorite thing to put on. It's my favorite thing to buy, and I have way too many of them. But this is my favorite blush of all time. This is NARS Deep Throat blush. I wore this on my wedding day. It's just the prettiest pink color with a little bit of shimmer in it, but definitely not like chunks of glitter or anything. It's so gorgeous, and I just think it makes the perfect cheek. So I'm gonna go in with my Sonia Kashuk, again, the Christmas collection, and smile and go ahead and add that to my cheeks. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just the perfect pink. Because I don't like when my cheeks look too warm if I don't have a tan, because I just think it looks weird on me. Oh, I could put on this blush for days. So the next thing I'm gonna go in with is my highlighter. This is one of my favorites. This is the Jeffree Star Skin Frost in the shade Peach Goddess. I love this highlight. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia brush that has rubbed off the number. I don't know what this is. I think it's like 24 or 25 or something, but it's the Anastasia highlighting brush. I'm just gonna swirl that around. Go ahead and put that on the high points of my cheek, and a little bit on the brow bone. I love this highlighter. The next thing I'm gonna do is just make sure and add some color to my lower lash line because I don't like to leave it bare. You definitely can, but it's just not what I prefer. And I'm gonna go in with a Morphe M507 brush and go in with that first shade Sweetheart that we used and just run that under my lower lash line. So that's pretty much the face. The last step to do is going to be mascara, eyebrows, and some setting spray. So I will go ahead and do the setting spray, again with the Milani Make It Last. Pull my hair out of the way and just go ahead and set. Oh, this stuff smells so good. So the mascara that I'm gonna go in with today is the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal, which I love. I've tried a bunch of different high-end mascaras, and this is always the one that I go back to. So we're gonna go ahead. I curled my lashes, by the way, with a Sephora eyelash curler. I don't think it's that great. I think the Sonia Kashuk one is way better, but mine broke a couple months ago, and this just happened to be the one that I had lying around. Last but not least is going to be lips. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Lipcheat in Pillowtalk. And I'll just go ahead and outline the edges of my lips. I don't like overlining or anything just because I think it looks silly on me. I feel like when other people do it, it looks so nice. But it's just not my thing. So going with that, and then I'll go in with my favorite liquid lipstick. This is the Tarte Lip Paint in Birthday Suit. This is the one that came in my birthday present back in October. You know how Sephora does your monthly birthday or whatever. And I'm obsessed with this. Whenever it runs out, I'm totally buying the full size. But for now, this thing has lasted me for forever. So I'm just gonna put this on. Put it on a super light layer because I feel like the lighter layers you do of liquid lipsticks, the less chance you have of drying out, or at least drying out not as bad. Okay, so this is the final look. This is my everyday makeup routine. It really only takes like 15 minutes in the morning. It's not that long, made with all my favorite products of all time. this is definitely, if I had to pick one product from every category, it's what's on my face right now. So if you want to see more videos like this, then go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to make more videos, and this is just the beginning. Thanks, guys.